Foremost among the myriad Trump supporters put in an awkward position by the release of that Access Hollywood tape on Friday are Republican evangelicals, Christian conservatives, who are being forced to choose between voting, as they almost always do, for a Republican candidate and, on the other hand, seeming to condone Donald Trump's screamingly impious behavior. Some high-profile Christian leaders, like Jerry Falwell Jr., the president of Liberty University, have stuck by the Republican nominee so far. And so, Donald Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, was in friendly territory today when he visited Liberty University's campus and reiterated his belief that Trump should be absolved of his past transgressions.
You know, I was asked on a television program the next morning how I, as a Christian, could move beyond those moments and accept an apology. And I was happy to explain that to the television host. I said, you know, as a believer, we're called to aspire to live godly lives, but also we recognize that we all fall short. And it's not about condoning what is said and done. It's about believing in grace and forgiveness. As Christians, we are called to forgive, even as we've been forgiven.
So not all evangelicals agree with Mike Pence's sentiment. The executive editor of Christianity Today magazine wrote a scathing editorial about Trump in its latest issue, saying that sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and greed are, quote, an incredibly apt summary of Donald Trump's life to date. And the piece continues, quote, Trump is an idolater in many other ways. He has given no evidence of humility or dependence on others, let alone on God, his maker and judge. He wantonly celebrates strong men and takes every opportunity to humiliate and demean the vulnerable. He shows no curiosity or capacity to learn. He is, in short, the very embodiment of what the Bible calls a fool.
But what do you really think?
And seriously, that's a seriously harsh attack. Christianity Today, who knew they could throw the heat quite that way?
Vitriol.
So here's the thing. Evangelicals, almost always with Republicans, on Election Day, what's the story going to be? Is Trump going to have the normal evangelical turnout, or does he lose a bunch in this area?
I think he's going to lose a lot of evangelical women in the same way that he's going to lose a lot of women overall. I think that there are some evangelicals who will stick with him on the singular basis of the Supreme Court and their desire to see Roe v. Wade overturned, and that for them is enough of an issue. It's a signature issue, a flag-planting issue that they will, I guess, stomach the rest of it, the things that Christianity Today points out, and pull the lever for Trump. But I do think you will see divide between men and women.
There was a Republican congressman on television last night, on MSNBC, I believe, talking maybe to Chris Hayes, who was asked if this congressman would abandon Donald Trump if he came out and announced that he enjoyed rape. And this congressman, I cannot remember which congressman it was. Maybe we'll have that sooner or later on the show. But he basically said, I have to think that over. I find it incredibly puzzling. I understand that Christian conservatives care a lot about the Supreme Court and care a lot about Roe v. Wade and have a sincere commitment to trying to curtail or end abortion in America entirely. But I do find it amazing how blithely so many of them hear the things that Trump has said and admitted to, boasted about, talked about, and seem to have almost no care for it whatsoever, seem to pretend that he has in some way genuinely sought forgiveness or grace. I find it just incredibly weird that they don't even seem to be struggling with the moral implications of backing this guy who has done so many things that, according to their theology, are just sinful.
Well, the invocation of grace is a powerful concept in the Christian faith, so we shall see.